Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving right into the architecture of what is arguably the world's most popular programming language, Python. We're going to break down its core mechanics and see exactly why it totally dominates everything, from your basic weekend automation projects all the way to advanced AI.
So let's kick things off with a massive question, right? Why is Python just so incredibly easy to read and scale? You hear this asked a lot, and honestly, the answer is the fundamental secret sauce behind its massive adoption across the entire tech industry.
Here's the deal. Unlike low-level languages that basically force you to talk like a computer, literally communicating in ones and zeros, Python is what we call a high-level language. It uses a super clear, simple grammar. There's no clutter, no hunting for a missing semicolon. It reads almost identically to natural, everyday English.
Here is our roadmap for today. First up, what is Python? Then, understanding data types. After that, the power of variables, and finally, working with strings. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. What is Python?
So Python was actually created way back in 1991 by Guido van Rossum. And fun fact, he named it after the British comedy group Monty Python, not the actual snake. Under the hood, it's open source, multi-platform, and object-oriented. But its absolute superpower? It's dynamically typed. We'll unpack exactly what that flexibility means in just a second.
Moving on to Section 2, understanding data types.
Okay, so think of Python as having three main buckets of raw materials. First, you've got numerical types. That's your integers for whole numbers, floats for decimals, and even complex numbers for the heavy math. Then you have strings, which are basically just blocks of text. And finally, Booleans, which are your simple logic states, true or false. Literally every piece of software you ever build is going to rely on these core materials.
All right, Section 3, the power of variables. Now, to actually use those data types we just talked about, we need a place to put them. Enter variables. A variable is simply a designated little box or container in your computer's memory that's just sitting there, waiting to hold a specific data value. It's exactly how your programs safely reference and swap out values on the fly while they run. Now, there are a couple of ground rules. Variable names have to start with a letter or an underscore, never, ever a number. They're also totally case-sensitive. But remember that dynamic typing magic I mentioned earlier? Here it is. You don't actually have to formally declare a variable. It just magically pops into existence the exact second you assign a value to it.
To put that in perspective, in statically typed languages like Java or C++, you have to explicitly define the box first. You have to say, hey computer, this box will only ever hold integers. But in Python, that dynamic typing means the container is defined entirely by the content you drop inside it. You just assign the value, and Python figures out the rest.
Let's look at a code snippet to see this in action. If you type name equals 1, Python instantly looks at that whole number and automatically types the variable for you. Boom, it outputs class int.
But watch what happens if we update that exact same code snippet to name equals 2.4. It doesn't crash, it doesn't throw an error. The container just seamlessly adapts. It dynamically shifts right into a float class. And if we change it one more time to the string hello in quotes, it transforms yet again, outputting class str. This incredible fluidity is exactly why developers can write Python code so fast. You're not stuck micromanaging memory types all day long. Which brings us to Section 4, working with strings. Strings are just wildly versatile building blocks. You can whip them up using single quotes or double quotes. It's totally up to you. They're completely interchangeable. You can even use triple quotes to let your string span across multiple lines. And you can throw in backslashes to dynamically format your text output. Check out this string usage snippet right here. By assigning a variable with 3 single quotes, your text can freely spill over multiple lines. Normally, if you hit enter inside regular quotes, bam, syntax error. But triple quotes give you total freedom to format entire paragraphs seamlessly.
You also have granular control over how that string outputs, directly from the code. Drop in a \t, and it acts as a horizontal tab, giving you nice clean spacing. Toss in a \n, and you force a hard new line. It's kind of like having an invisible keyboard right there in your code, manipulating the layout for you. So when you combine all of these concepts, the dynamic typing, the variables as containers, the strings, you arrive at the ultimate, most iconic code snippet in history. Print, open parentheses, quote, hello world. It calls the built-in print function, passes in a string data type, and boom, your message is on the screen. It is incredibly simple, but profoundly powerful. And there you have it. You now understand Python's high-level syntax, the magic of dynamic typing, and those fundamental data types. These simple adaptive blocks, they are the exact same raw materials powering the world's most advanced massive applications today. The logic is identical. You literally just keep stacking the blocks. So, knowing what you know now, what complex software are you going to build next?